Hey guys, thanks for joining me on this journey of figuring out how to better reflect God in all aspects of life by looking at some things that I wished I had been taught. Now, this is part 2 of my videos about better reflecting God through our beliefs. And in the last video, I talked a lot about coming to grips with the subjectivity that is present in our beliefs and how that's okay. In this video, I want to expound on the ideas of experience and tradition as being relevant parts of our beliefs as well. So, when we think about the beliefs that we hold, we typically look back at theological frameworks that helped us come to them. The thing about theology, though, is that it's not simply an objective, from the Bible, data driven thing. Theology typically stems from 4 main sources: scripture, tradition, reason, and experience. Now, this is, of course, a descriptive list of sources for theological frameworks and is not prescriptive for all of them. However, I point this out to show you that even in our theology, even in our beliefs, these are sources we consider and utilize, like experience and tradition, whether they be on a more conscious or unconscious level. And this is so valuable to understand, that we shouldn't minimize tradition or experience to fit our beliefs and understandings, but instead enlarge our beliefs and understandings to take into account tradition and experiences. So tradition and experience matter in understanding reality, each other, and God. Now, can they be wrong at times? Can they be taken advantage of or manipulated? Of course. They're a part of and a product of us as humans, and just like the Bible and its authors, they're not infallible or inerrant. But that doesn't make them less valuable, less reliable, or less trustworthy. Now, throughout Christian history, people have presented them as less than by privileging that the only thing that really matters are objectivity and this common denominator that we can come to of rationale and reason for all human beings in some similar way. But even when we look at something like science that is expected to be purely driven by the objective and all-encompassing truths and rationale, we see that even there, that's not always the case. Aspects like biological makeup and development in nature can be heavily influenced by the experience of a particular species. So a problem we face when we dismiss experience and even tradition is that because those things are not seen as valuable to our beliefs, those parts of ourselves are therefore not seen as valuable to our beliefs, to others, or to God. This can lead to a habit that most of us in church communities almost unconsciously form, and that habit being that we don't show up as our entire selves. We only bring part of who we are into our communities because we pick up, whether implicitly or explicitly, these cues that if we bring this part of ourselves or this experience or this tradition or this question, whatever it may be, that it's not going to be accepted and that we're not going to be accepted. And we as people so much are so scared of being rejected completely that we would rather shut off and disregard parts of ourselves so that we can be partially accepted, instead of showing up as our entire self, as who we are, and facing that potential to be completely rejected. And to be honest, this is one of the things that I admire most about the LGBTQ plus community, is how much they strive to show and teach the importance of being our entire selves, and the courage that it takes to do that despite when it's going to bring hurt, pain, and rejection in certain environments. I mean, how courageous you have to be to say it is worth showing up as me, as my entire self, regardless of the consequences that it could bring, regardless of the rejection that I might face, the hate that I might experience, and so forth. And I say this to advise that there is a cost at times to showing up as ourselves in culture at large, but primarily in more conservative and Christian circles. And my hope is to work towards bringing a change in that. However, for now, there is a cost to accepting subjectivity of our beliefs, to accepting our experiences and our traditions. But don't let it be a source of discouragement for you, and don't use it as discouragement towards others. When we account for subjectivity and experience, lots of things can be true at the same time, and that's okay. I can be hot in this room right now, believing that it's hot in this room right now, while you may be cold, believing that it's cold in this room. And both of those things can be true because of what we experience. But also keep in mind that the lens in which you view the world will shape your reality. Your lens, your view, and your reality, but not everyone else's. Now, these ideas might be stressing some people out right now, and that's okay. That's part of my purpose here. But it's to help you recognize this stress and to see it as a challenge to face and not a threat. So in my next video on this topic, I hope to leave you guys with some encouragement, some practical tips, and wisdom to move forward in your beliefs to better reflect God through them. So have a great day, and I'll see you next time.